Hi everybody, happy Friday! Today's 420. I actually had no idea that it was 420 until I started making this video and realized I should probably do a whole video on marijuana. I mean, that's a hot topic people like to talk about. Today's 420, but I'd already planned a whole thing, so instead, we're gonna talk about 10 amazing things that happened on Earth last year. All that when we come right back. Welcome back! Let's talk about the Earth. Let's talk about 10 amazing things that happened. Thing number one that happened in the world last year that was great. So, get this. Chile actually set aside 11 million, let me say that one more time, 11 million acres of land for national parks in Patagonia. Where the story gets actually even more interesting is that the former CEO of the clothing company Patagonia, let me get her name right, Chris McDivitt-Thompson, and her husband, who was actually the founder of North Face, Doug Thompson, actually acquired 2.2 million acres in that region in the last 2 decades, almost 2 decades. And their whole goal was to give it to the Chile government so that they could set aside these national parks. But in the very beginning and up to very recently, the Chile government actually put out tons of anti-propaganda against them, saying that they were CIA operatives, or that they were trying to steal the land and that they were going to seize it back, or that they were even dumping nuclear waste into it. The couple continued on and ended up being able to donate it all to Chile. What's a little sad about the story is Doug did pass away before he was able to see that, but his wife did release a statement. Let me read it to be precise. She said, "But I know that if Doug were here today, he would speak of national parks being one of the greatest expressions of democracy that a country can realize, preserving the masterpiece of a nation for all of its citizenry." Thing number two. This one's kind of unique because it's 2 things in one. So the country in Africa, Cameroon, has actually committed to planting over 12 million acres of forest. Now the part 2 of this is, although the Brazilian government is in crisis, there is a conservation agency that has came into Brazil and has come up with this technique that is not like any other technique that we've done. First of all of this is uncharted, but what is happening in Brazil is that they have taken about 200 different species of trees that are native to that area, and in all of the land that they have gotten back from where people have burned down the rainforest for mainly agriculture, whether it be palm oil or for cattle and stuff like that, they're coming back in on those plots of lands that they have acquired back and planting all 200 of these different seeds every square meter of the burnt land that they have, or the torch land, whatever it is that they're finding. And they're going to try to do 73 million trees. Rainforests are so important to the Earth, and we have to do something to ensure that the Earth's lungs are not broken, especially when we need them more than ever. So to hear that 2 countries from around the world are doing something amazing to their rainforest such as this should give all of us extreme hope. Thing number 3. As of now, the United States is a major supplier of wood. And that kind of may sound like a bad thing because you think we need more trees, but we're actually a major supplier of renewable trees. So what that means is we've now had tree farms where we're doing it in a renewable way, not where we're going and devastating large places of land. And although in the 1600s, half of this country was still forest, now in today's date, we're at like 35%, which may sound bad, but if you go back to the early 1900s, what this country was then, we have made leaps and bounds of planting trees and replanting our forests and protecting our forests. So today we have 820 million acres of forest all throughout this country. This is according to the U.S. Agriculture Service. Number 4, a province in Pakistan has released a statement saying that they have planted 1 billion trees in 2 years. 1 billion trees. I can't even fathom the number of billion, but all of that in 2 years in Pakistan, I mean, that sounds incredible. And the reason that brought them to this was they had a crazy flood in 2015, which had major devastation. And just kind of like what we saw in places like Houston or whatever. Obviously, if we go in and we start cutting down the natural landscape of that area, what would hold the water back or deter the water or help slow down the process, the Earth's natural mechanisms, we messed up. Thing number 5. In 2017, the ozone hole over Antarctica shrank to its smallest size since 1988. I'm sure we all remember of how much we freaked out about the hole in the ozone. We gotta eliminate our hairspray. We gotta do what it takes to fix the ozone. And we did it. Thing number 6. We are now down to only 1.3 billion people not having access to electricity. Considering that we have 7.8 billion people living on the world, that's actually pretty good. Obviously, we want to get as many of those 1.3 billion people access to electricity, especially considering that 1.3 billion people is more than the amount of people living in the US currently. However, we have to stop and celebrate that we got it down to 1.3, and now with inventions of solar and wind, we can hopefully shrink that to almost nothing within our lifetime, which I think is absolutely amazing. Thing number 7. Something really cool happened in the UK last year, about a year ago, on April 22nd. The country actually ran the entire day without burning any coal, proving that a country can completely go coal-free and still maintain its exact energy. Take that, lobbyists. Thing number 8. Cost for solar and wind and other renewable energy sources actually plummeted 25% last year in 2017. This completely changed the whole course for renewable energy around the whole entire world. I know that there was even examples of places throughout our country, even in Texas, where people were paid to have electricity because they were pumping out so much wind energy that at night they actually got a little money back because they were making so much energy. Thing number 9. According to Pew Research, violent crime and property crime in the United States has dropped by more than 50% since 1990. 50% 1990. 1990 wasn't that long ago, and we dropped it in half by 50%. That's amazing. I mean, every day you talk to somebody and you hear we're getting more dangerous, or school shootings and all of these things are going up. People are just bad today. No, people are not just bad today. We have made leaps and strides over where we came from. Just 1990 was not that long ago, and we've dropped it in half by 50%. I mean, we're making progress. Yes, we're gonna have bad apples, and yes, all over the world with 7.6 billion people, there's gonna be a lot of bad, but fellow humans, we are coming a long way, and we're making it. It says that when Pew Research went out and did their research, that most Americans don't actually believe that statistic. And I kind of can understand why. When you turn on the news, you're always seeing the bad stuff. It's so rare to talk about good. Even a video like this is kind of hard to come find. When I was doing my research to see all the good in the world, it wasn't that easy to find. You would think that would just, like, Google's got this stuff down, let's give you all the good. But no, all the bad wants to come up. And the truth is, every day, millions of people across the globe are doing amazing things that are benefiting every one of us. And I think it's something we should all be really proud for, that our species can do that. Number 10, last but not least. This is going to be another two for the price of one sort of situation. So first we start with cancer. Usually, anytime you hear that, it's associated with something bad. But not today, not in this video. Cancer deaths in the United States have fallen by 25%. I know 25% doesn't sound amazing, especially when we want to be at 100. But that actually, in the United States, translates to we saved 2 million people's lives. The other side of this, the UN, focusing on AIDS, last July released a statement saying that half of all people around the globe living with AIDS is actually seeking treatment, and that AIDS deaths have actually dropped in half since 2005. Again, 2005 is not that long ago, in that we've cut it in half. It's extraordinary, and it's something that we should celebrate. Again, the day that 100% people are cured and we're making it those numbers, that's the biggest party ever and a true celebration. But I believe we definitely have to celebrate these steps that we're taking along the way. Rome wasn't built in a day, as the saying goes, and obviously we're not going to be able to cure every disease in a day, or even in some people's lifetime, as sadly as it is. But if we are constantly making our numbers better and better again, that's great news, and I think we have to celebrate it. So there you go. There's 10 amazing things that happened in the world last year. This Earth Day, which is coming Sunday, don't forget, thank Mother Earth. You get to live here. She provides everything you need for her. It's humans that have come along and really reshaped the face of her and changed with a lot of her natural functions. So give her some love, go save a tree, plant a tree, help somebody out. Do whatever you can to make this Earth Day extra special. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. You gotta stick around and see what videos I'm gonna be pumping out. Next week, I have no idea if there will be a video. I'm going out of town on Monday for 11 days. Florida, here I come. And it's gonna be really hectic, so if I do, it'll be a YouTube live that I'll be getting to you. I will definitely miss you. I look forward to seeing what you have in the comments below. If you know of any other good, amazing things going on in the world, leave it below. Anything you want me to talk about, leave it below. Questions, leave them below. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's where I do most of my posting. All of that, that's right below as well. Twitter, you want to tweet me? Go ahead. That's where most of my political stuff goes. I admit I'm not the best tweeter, not the best tweeter, but tweet me. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. All my love. Don't forget, do something good in the world today.